Hi, welcome back to the Scent Advocate. Today I want to talk a little bit more about a recent sample haul from Lucky Scent. As always, these get me pretty excited, so I'm really happy to share with you some amazing discoveries I made in the process of sampling some fragrances that I thought looked interesting with their notes while perusing the site and doing a little bit more research. These are going to be primarily earthy kind of sheep fragrances, my favorite. They were mostly surprising to me. I didn't expect to like this many of them. And so I'm in a tough spot with whether I'm going to save up for full bottles for these. But I'd love your feedback on what you think of these fragrances, especially around long-term performance. So let's start out today with Georget or Georgie, and this is from Strangers Parfumerie. Eau de Parfum, Georghe. So it's Georget, Georgie, some derivative of that. This is a chypre, and I am getting a lot of spices from it. It's heavy on the oak moss, but it's tempered by a beautiful either nutmeg or clove. It's almost got a Christmassy vibe to it. It's definitely different from any other sheep that I have. It's got a character that really sets it apart. I love this house. I have several fragrances from Strangers Parfumerie. The nose on this, of course, is Prin Lamrose, and I think he's a genius. This is gorgeous. It is truly unisex. I think anyone could wear this. I think it's a warmer weather leaning fragrance. If fall has a signature scent, this might be up there among them. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a summer scent or a hot weather, warm weather scent, but I suppose you could wear it any time of year. If I were to wear it in the warmer months, I would wear it in the evenings. This is exquisite, but what's interesting about it is it's a slightly lighter touch than you get from other Prin fragrances or Strangers Parfumerie fragrances or chypre generally. This is an easier reach than most chypres. It's absolutely stunning. Let's check out the notes. They are Hey Absolu, LME, Immortelle, Cypress, Gardenia, Benzoin, Apopanax, Gaiac, Narcissus Pear, Clove. I definitely can detect that. Coriander, black pepper, carnation, tobacco, castoreum, heliotrope, tonka bean, sandalwood, patchouli, labdanum, peat, vanilla, whiskey, and bluebell. Okay, peat. So, I'm a freak for all kinds of moss, peat being one of them. I think the moss really sets off the fragrance and puts it in that sheep category. At the top, you don't have the typical lineup, right? So with a sheep, we see bergamot or a citrus. Then in the center, we have labdanum. And then at the base, we have a beautiful oak moss. This is set up a little bit differently. Sometimes sheeps include a patchouli and other types of moss that will bring it into that sheep DNA, and I think this does it. It does have patchouli. Of course, it has labdanum. I am not seeing a citrus. This is interesting. However, the LME does have a strong citrus accord. So that could be what's really pushing it into the sheep category. This is an amazing sheep for people who don't love sheep. Definitely not mainstream, but among the more complex fragrances of this genre, definitely an easier reach. Georgie by Strangers Parfumerie, Eau de Parfum. Moving on to Lost in Heaven by one of my all-time favorites, Francesca Bianchi. This is an extrait de parfum. I'm a huge fan of Francesca Bianchi. She's amazing, and she is an artistic genius when it comes to fragrances. This is no exception. It's got a subtle floral, a bergamot at the top. This is a sheep as well. It's got a resin in there, I think, because it's very rich. It's more rich than you would get with a wood base alone. But as usual with her, so well blended, you get this accord of unabashed, beautiful female sensuality. I suppose a very confident man could wear this, but it is female leaning to me, feminine leaning. Oh, it is beautiful. It's got a little bit of, moving on to the House of Prin, affiliated, of course, with Stranger's Parfumerie. This is Anthamara Extrait de Parfum. It is gorgeous. It is classic. It is vintage gorgeousness. It's got some musk in there, but not an animalic musk. This is a sophisticated, aristocratic musk. You smell this and you just jump to attention. The person wearing this is noteworthy. This leans masculine, but I would wear this in a second. Prin really knows what he's doing. My gosh. This is a 2022 release from the house. It's got some good projection on it too. I don't get a citrus in the opening. It could be something very subtle like a bergamot. I get a warm, toasty wood, some spice of some kind. Maybe it's a coriander, possibly, I would say mace as opposed to nutmeg because it's lighter. Ooh, it's almost oudy, like a mainstream oud accord, a very, not that this is mainstream at all, it is not, but an oud that lacks any deep funk. This is a very easy reach. And it's got a spice beyond the mace, actually. I'm going to go with cinnamon, maybe clove. Oh, it's gorgeous. Possibly a patchouli, but a chocolatey one. Let's see what the notes are. Oh, it's a big one. Siberian musk, Himalayan amber from an amber fossil. Ooh. Choyaral Absolute. I have no earthly idea what that is, but if I figure it out, I'll put it in the notes. Coleus Root Absolute, another one I don't know. Hyrax Absolute. Okay, that's your animalic right there. Black tea, camphor, black currant Absolute, Artemisia, violet leaf, orris butter, lavender Absolute, black spruce, fir balsam. Wow, so we're getting these green resins. Rosewood beeswax, olibanum, benzoin, celery seed, jetamancy, cinnamon, cumin seed, labdanum, Thai oud. I told you I smelled an oud. Castoreum, amyris, oak moss, vetiver, pine tar, and lovage. This is exquisite. I'm in trouble. I'm in serious trouble. You remember my reaction to Scotch Peat? This is a very close second. Oh, it's gorgeous. If you have gone down the rabbit hole of complex fragrances with something of an edge, this is gorgeous. It's warm weather. But again, I could see this worn in a cool evening in the summer. This would be stunning. It's unisex. It is there 100%, but it's not in your face obtrusive to those around you. It's genius. Absolutely stunning. Oh my goodness. Anthamara by Prin, Extrait de Parfum. I just want to add that to Anthamara, I looked up the scoop on Lucky Scent with this. And it talks about dark, gloomy devil in the meaning of the word, but I assure you, this is completely heavenly. Oh gosh. Heaven claims this, and the devil be damned. Get your nose on a sample of this. It's gorgeous. All right, moving on to, let's do Encounters by Francesca Bianchi. And this is also an Extrait de Parfum. This is a fruity sheep. Oh, and it's gorgeous, of course, like everything she does. It's a 2023 release. This is my second sample of Encounters. I used up the first one, but I wanted to be absolutely certain before I bought another bottle of Francesca Bianchi because I'm trying to be responsible with my spending. But I'm a goner on this. It's got a fruit up top, so it's definitely got a citrus accord. I'm going to say maybe a bergamot, something light, not too in your face like a grapefruit or anything like that. It leans orangey in the citrus. Then you've got another fruit. So it's either a currant or a pear. A beautiful floral center, maybe heliotrope, but knowing Francesca Bianchi, as if I really knew her, I wish, being familiar with her style, I would say iris, a strong hit of iris, because it's a floral, but it's powdery and gorgeous like everything else she does. And there's a wood at the bottom, blonde wood. Let's see what the notes are. Ooh, bergamot, orange, cassis, lavender, coriander, iris butter, rose, angelica, cinnamon, ambergris, castoreum, oud, sandalwood, cedarwood, benzoin, and Peru balsam. Oh, it's stunning. And you would think that encounters would take you into a direction that she's already gone. No, no, no. These are all exquisitely different. This is a warmer weather fragrance out of this house. It could definitely translate into the colder months, no question, but don't be afraid to wear this in the warm weather. As is usually the case with a chypre or a chypre-like fragrance, which this is at least a chypre-like fragrance. It doesn't have the notes to necessarily make it a textbook chypre, but it's got that DNA. I wouldn't wear this to go work out or have a run in the middle of a hot, sunny day, but this could definitely, if you were taking a walk on the beach, beautiful. Of course, you've got the mariner's rhyme out of this house as well if you were going to take a walk on the beach in the warm weather, but I digress. This is gorgeous. It's got a lot of utility. It's not sharp in your face, and a malic, none of it. An easy, easy reach if you are into the sheep-centric DNA. Gorgeous Extrait du Parfum by Francesca Bianchi Encounters. Okay, let's move into some edgier fragrances here. Mossy soil. Moss, right? You knew I would have to go for this. There's just no way that I could pass up mossy soil. It's a sheep, and it's got moss, even in the name. Of course. So complex, so different, so attractive. This leans female to me, but it's definitely unisex. This opens up with that accord of soil, but beautiful, fresh soil that I guess you would call like a topsoil. Stunning stuff. But this is dried down a little bit because I drenched the test strips before I started the video. And in the beginning, absolutely, it's going to be a green moss and that beautiful aromatic, earthy, deep, dark, rich soil accord. But and imagine soil at its most gorgeous. Imagine a time when you were, I don't know, working in your garden and you had topsoil like from the store, or you were putting some plants in a pot and you had that kind of mossy, peaty soil that you got again from a store. That beautiful, surprisingly beautiful waft that you got from it, that's in here. But then it dries down, and it dries down to a leathery, woody, balsamic, otherwise resinous, gorgeous fragrance. The floral in here that is providing a heart note would be something somewhat strong, and it really offsets that strong green moss and that earthy soil to give it almost a beautiful floral peppery accord. Let's see what the notes are. This is gorgeous. Okay, aldehydes. Those always throw me off. Bergamot, lemon, ylang ylang, rose, jasmine, sambac, olibanum, earth essence, iris, hedione, leather, vanilla, civet, castoreum, sandalwood, vetiver, labdanum, patchouli, oak moss, and white musk. It is a classic sheep, but very unique. Wow, I think the spice is coming from the olibanum. That resin is very strong in here. And it's so pretty. The civet and castoreum, do not worry. This is not animalic at all. And you might expect it to be. When you think of mossy soil, you think of like the forest floor. No way. The labdanum too gives it, combined with the lemon and the bergamot, I think gives it a beautiful balsamic accord. This is stunning. Wow, really unique. This house really knocked it out of the park. They're out of Poland, and this release is from 2020. Have you checked it out? Have you seen anything from this house before? What do you think of this one? So this could be worn any time of year, but it definitely leans fall, or it's a little too light for winter. But gorgeous stuff. Absolutely stunning. Unisex. I would wear this. Some might say it's leaning masculine. I think that's crap. It's beautiful. Check it out. Mossy Soil by JMP Artisan Perfumes. Next, we've got Xerjoff from Indult Eau de Parfum. This is another fragrance that I've checked out more than once. I used up the entire sample I got. This is a patchouli heavy sheep. It is gorgeous. It is a dusty floral in the heart. I'm going to say it's got some substantial iris here, but it is a classic floral sheep. Very sophisticated. It's completely unique. I mean, this is gorgeous. Let's see. It's a... the perfumer is Francis Kurkdjian. Of course, what else would you expect? But this is very unique. This has its own personality. It is a stunner. There's a wood in here anchoring it. There's some oak moss, but it's a strong floral and strong patchouli. Let's see what the notes are. We've got patchouli, Indian plum tree, jasmine, date, oak moss, labdanum, elemi, and amber. Yes to all of it. It all makes perfect sense. This is a stunner. It's powdery, and I was completely wrong on the iris, but it's got a lot of powder in here. You would definitely think there's a strong iris in here. I'm doing a video. As this dries down, you get something of a powdery parchment accord. Very interesting. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's gorgeous. It's a floral sheep, and it's something in the category of florals for people who don't like florals, which is why it appeals to me. Yes, Xerjoff by Indult. Check it out. Finally, we have Quattro Pizzi by Xerjoff-Casamorati line. I saw the notes, I heard it described, and I wanted to try it, so I got a sample. Huge mistake. This is an eau de parfum. Oh, gosh. It's stunning. It's springtime, but you're in love, and it's almost a gourmand. It's a beautiful purpley fragrance. It's got a floral vanilla. So it's completely different from Montguerlain, but if you like Montguerlain, you would probably love this. Not a dupe, very different. Let me make it clear. I own Montguerlain, and I would never hesitate to get this because it's duplicative. This is stunning. Let's just cut right to it. I'm thinking it's lavender. It's a purple fruit. It's a vanilla. Yeah, let's see what the notes are. Rum, Davana, pink pepper, coriander, tuberose, coconut, and tonka bean. So I got precisely none of those right. This is gorgeous. This has the mass appeal. Everyone loves this. There can be no doubt. Of course, that's only my opinion. Don't quote me on that. This is the kind of niche fragrance you would buy for someone if you had to buy a gift. It's universally appealing. It's definitely feminine leaning. This is the kind of fragrance that, although I wouldn't recommend wearing it while you're out on a run, if you were to perspire in it, it would just bloom on your skin. It is nothing short of gorgeous. As for the notes, I would have expected something more substantial than what I'm reading in here. Not that these are insubstantial, but maybe it's heavy on the coriander. There's a complexity to this. Maybe it's the Divana. It is not boozy, even though rum is among the notes. It is not coconutty, even though coconut is among the notes. It's the kind of fragrance where the coconut is there. It's a young coconut in the background, and it's rounding out the sharpness of the Divana and the pink pepper. It adds a softness to it that perhaps couldn't have been obtained through the tonka bean, which can sometimes manifest as vanilla. The tuberose is really subdued. I do not like florals, at least not much. And you don't get that at all from this. I mean, there's just no question about it. It's stunning. If you haven't tried it, you should sample it for sure. But not if you don't want to spend $300 for 100 ml, approximately. They do have a smaller 30 ml for about $120. So it's definitely worth saving up for. Gorgeous stuff. Okay, so let me know what you think. I tried to put kind of a mix of fragrances in here, although we're leaning complex and in the chic category. The Quattro Pizzi was just kind of an add-on for fun. So let me know what you think. And if you haven't subscribed, can you give a sister a break and consider subscribing? Please. And tell your friends to subscribe. I mean, I'm having a blast doing this, but I would love to get more feedback and just really, develop a sense of community among the fellow frag heads. So like and subscribe. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.